Hi friends, welcome back to Rustic and Lace DIY. Today I'm participating in the Keeping Christ in Christmas playlist that is hosted by Tammy at Happiness Created, and it is going to be full of very meaningful things about Christ for Christmas. So stay tuned. But before we get going on the video, I just want to say Oliver and I wish you a very Merry Christmas, and our wish for you throughout this year is that you experience God's love in a way that you've never experienced before, and that it grows and grows and grows in you each and every day. So with all that being said, I'm sorry, he is so mad at me right now. I can't quit laughing about it. But anyways, I'm tearing up because he's cracking me up. But with all that being said, you guys have a very merry and blessed Christmas, and let's get to crafting.
Okay, here's DIY number 1. So for this DIY, I printed out these sayings with my Cricut. I used 2 12 packs of the 5-gallon stir sticks, and then I used some regular 1-gallon stir sticks and my antique wax. So I start off by lining up, I believe it's 12 of those 5-gallon stir sticks, and then I'm going to attach them by hot gluing some of the 1-gallon stir sticks on the back to cover all of the seams where each one of those sticks meet. Now, as you can see, they were not long enough, so I did dig through my stash and found some parts of those sticks that I had used previously that had been cut off. Once I had that all put together, I went and took my antique wax, and I am just going to brush it all on using my wax brush from Waverly, which is a plaid product, and I am a plaid ambassador. And I am just brushing this all on, and then I'm going to take a napkin, or a paper towel, I should say, and wipe off the excess. And I do this all over the front. I do not do the back. I do the front and the sides. And then I do the second sign, because I'm making 2 signs here, but I'm only going to show you the one. And so I'm going to show you here in just a second. You're going to see a big oopsie that I had. So I'm busy wiping and waxing and whopping, and there I go. Yeah, so that was fun. Anyway, so then I took my decal once it was all dried. I going to put on my decals. Now, if you have a Cricut machine, you may know this already, but the vinyl doesn't really like to adhere to the wax very well. So you have to really work at getting it on there. And I usually will put on some Mod Podge on the top of it when I'm done, just to make sure it stays on there. But that was the first sign, and it says, O come, Emmanuel." This is the second sign. It says, "He came as a baby, but will return as the king." Now, my sister was just telling me, when I was thinking about what to make for this project, it was like that last week I was wondering, thinking, trying to figure out, and we went over to her house, and she's like, "Oh, you know what I'd love to have you make for me maybe next year, because it's too late this year." And she told me exactly what she wanted, which was this. And I thought, this would be perfect for my video for this challenge. And then I can also give it to her as an early Christmas present. Well, not early, but a Christmas present too, and surprise her. So, because she's expecting us to do this next year. So I'm killing 2 birds with 1 stone with this. So then I took some of this lace ribbon, burlap lace ribbon from Dollar Tree. I got this later this fall. I don't know. I got it sometime this year. I still see it there, so you can probably find it. And I'm just going to hot glue it all around each frame or each picture. So I'm just going to go around all the sides with it, as you see right there. And I do that for both pictures. And then I'm just going to take some jute rope and make just a simple bow and hot glue it to the top of both. And that's all there is for this. And this really matches a lot of stuff that she has in her house. She's got a lot of the wood look pictures a lot more rustic and farmhouse. So this will look really good with her stuff. Then I took some more of that lace and I'm just going to use it as a hanger, and I am just hot gluing it down as you see there. Then I'm just going to take some of this shipping paper or packing paper, and I'm hot gluing it to the back to make it look all nice and even and pretty, since I'm giving this as a gift. Then I just go with my little X-Acto knife and trim up all the edges to make it all look all nice and pretty. And that's all there was for this one. So there is the reveal of them, and I think they came out looking really nice, and I think she's going to be very pleased with both of them. So today's challenge is Keeping Christ in Christmas, and it is hosted by Tammy at Happiness Created, and Jackie at Crafting and Mimi's World, and Sarah at Jujubee DIY. Make sure you check out their channels as well as the playlist to see all the different ways that people are keeping Christ in Christmas this year. My way is by giving gifts that reflect Christ. So make sure you check out everyone's channels and videos. I will have links to the playlist as well as their channels in my description box below. So here's DIY number 2. So for this one, I am going to use some of these wood mushrooms I got from the Dollar Tree this fall. I printed out some more decals with my Cricut. These rulers from Dollar Tree, this jute rope from Walmart, and these wood plaques from the Dollar Tree. So I'm going to do the usual and take off all the hangers, and then I'm going to use my spackling, and I'm putting my finger back behind the hole, and then I am just putting the spackling through the hole. That way it kind of keeps it from oozing out the back. And I go and I do that on all 3 of those boards. And then I set it aside to dry. And then after that, after I'm letting them dry, I take them, put them together, and adhere them with some more paint stir sticks, just like you see there, just like I did on the previous DIY. Once I was done, I took the little sticky things off of the rulers, which I probably didn't have to do, but I did it anyways. I know I'm going to use those at some point for some kind of DIY. Then I'm measuring it, and I'm just going to cut one of those right in half. And I have this little saw I got from the Dollar Tree, and I didn't want to go out to my big saw, so I used this, and it didn't take very long to cut through at all. In fact, I did kind of finish it off with my box cutter. Then I took my antique Waverly Wax, just like on the first project, and I am just going to wipe it on, brush it on, and then wipe it off with paper towel. And I did not knock it over this time, thank goodness. And this project is actually for my nephew who just got married early this month. So this is for him and his new wife. And I saw this on Pinterest and thought it would be such a great gift for them. And I know they're going to love this. So I went ahead and painted one of those pieces of ruler with my wax, and then I thought, oh no, I want to do this white, so I used my plaster to cover over it, and then I decided I really like the idea of using the antique wax on those rulers, and then once they're dry, covering it with the plaster, because I'm gonna do some distressing, and I kind of hoped that it would show through. And it didn't show through as much as I hoped for, but I still love the look it gave. It does give it an older look. I like it. It kind of tinted that plaster color a little bit to where it makes it look a little more rustic and old, and I really love the way this came out. It's kind of hard to see on camera, but I really love it. So then I marked where I wanted to put this so that was centered and even, and I am just hot gluing it in place, and then I'm going to hot glue the sides to it as well. And when I was putting my antique wax on the boards, I also used that antique wax on those mushrooms as well. I'm sorry I didn't show that, but I did do those too. So after I get this all on, I'm going to use those little mushrooms, those wood mushrooms, and I'm going to hot glue them, one at the top and then one on each side or end of the sticks. And these are to represent the nails that were used on Jesus. I probably should have put it on the foot, not the top, but there's a reason for it. So then after that, I took my decal that I printed out, and I am just adding it onto it. And it says, a cord of 3 strands is not easily broken. And this would be a really nice wedding gift if you know someone who's getting married. Then I put their last name initial and then their names and the wedding date on the bottom. And I, like I said, when I saw this, I just thought this would be perfect for them because I knew they were getting married this month, and I thought this would be a great Christmas gift for them. Then I take this twine or the jute rope, and I'm just going to tie a knot around the top mushroom or nail, if you will, and then I'm trim it down, and then I'm going to do the same on the sides. I just tie the rope around the mushroom, tie a knot, trim it off, and then I wasn't quite sure how much longer I needed to make it, so I probably added like 3 or 4 inches longer than the cross there, because when you braid something, it usually takes extra rope. So that's why I kind of cut it longer, just to make sure I had enough. So then I'm just adding the 3 and braiding them together. It took me a minute there. It's been a while since I braided a little girl's hair. So I just went and braided the 3 strands together. And then I am going to tie a knot in all 3 of those there, so that they're all tied into one, and then trim it off and then hot glue that down to the bottom. And I probably should have cut it down a little bit shorter so that knot was on the end of the cross, but it's right on the bottom, so it'll be okay. So then I had this braided rope that I got from Amazon, and I thought it would be perfect. It kind of goes with the whole braided theme. So I'm just going to go all around the board with it like you see there. Now, if you recreate this, you can do your own thing. You don't have to use that rope, but if you want to, I will have it in my Amazon store. But you could always just use the jute rope or twine or string or yarn, whatever you'd like. Then I took some more of that braided rope, and I'm just using it as a hanger, and I'm just using my hot glue there and gluing it in place. And then I will cover it with some more of that shipping paper just to give it that finished look. And then I will trim it all down. And I love the way this came out. If they would have gotten married at a different time, I would have given them this for their wedding. But I already gave them a wedding gift and thought this would be perfect, and I know they're going to love this. Look at that wood grain. Oh, I just love it. Anyways, I love this. I think it's beautiful. You have to let me know what you think about this one as well. And then here's DIY number 3. Now these are for my nephews and my niece for Christmas. I printed out this decal. I have some Scrabble tiles that I got from Amazon. I'll have them in my Amazon store. This frame from Dollar Tree and some scrapbook paper from Hobby Lobby. And I start off by cleaning the frame and placing it back, or the glass, and then placing it back inside the frame. And then I'm going to use that little inset that comes with the frame to trace out the paper and then cut it and place that right inside of the frame. And what my whole goal with the decal is, it's basically, this is for my niece Carice. I love saying that because it rhymes. But it's the meaning of her name is Grace, and then I put a scripture that refers to grace. And I did this for my nephews as well. I put the meaning to their name and then a scripture that goes along with that meaning. So here I'm just kind of measuring to make sure I have the words where I want them as far as her name, because I want to make sure that when I put the decal on there that, it's centered and there's enough room for her name and all that stuff. So here I just had to remove her name because the the transfer tape was kept sticking to it. So then I get her name on there, and then I'm going to hot glue her name, and then I'm going to add a ribbon to it. But I'll tell you guys, this is a real true labor of love, because if you have a Cricut, you know that sometimes working with vinyl is not the easiest. And it took me the whole day to make 3 of these, and it was all because of the stinking vinyl. It took forever to weed it. Oh my goodness. So anyway, so here I just took some of this purple lace ribbon I got from Dollar Tree and made a bow, and then hot glued it onto the top. And for one of the boys, I did some twine with a bow at the top, and the other one, I put his name on the side and put a bow above it. So there's the 3. You'll have to let me know what you think. And you guys, this doesn't even have to be a Christmas present. If you want to recreate something like this, you could do this as a birthday gift, anniversary gift. You could do all kinds of things with this. So you'll have to let me know what you think about this one as well. So here's a final look at all 3 projects. I hope you enjoyed it. To me, Christ is all about Christmas. We wouldn't have Christmas if it wasn't for the birth of Jesus. And I am so thankful for him and all he has done for me. And I hope that through this year, that you can experience his love and his blessings on your life. And so with all that, guys, I hope you all have a very Merry Christmas. And stay tuned, because I have some pretty funny bloopers at the end of this. And I'm sorry for the tears, but what he's done for me, I'm so grateful for, and I hope he has done for you. So with this wonderful season of celebrating his birth, I pray and hope you have a very Merry Christmas. And so we will see you next year on the next one. Bye-bye.
I'm sorry, Oliver. It's so funny though. You're so mad at me. Oh my goodness. Oliver and I, although he's very mad at me right now because he doesn't like this costume, but we wish you all a very blessed and Merry Christmas.